Hi everyone, I'm Achyut Menon. Uh, exactly about a year back when the COVID all began, we were trying to wonder what was hitting us. And as a person who has been uh, investing in social media, and social media has been my window to my learning world, I kind of decided to go live on Facebook exactly a year back to go out of my uh, comfort zone. Um, I had a series called Sutras for the HR, 10 sessions we had, and then I realized how much I didn't know. So I reinvested myself in learning. So here we're back. We are at the eve of the International Women's Day 2021, and I thought I'll get back doing Facebook Live sessions. So today I have a guest who's an expert in clinical nutrition. So I just want to bring her in on, and after she comes alive, I'll do the introduction bit. Hi, Deepika.
Hi, Menon. So nice
Hi.
to be on the same platform with you.
Yeah, thank you for coming by. Okay, so and thank you for being the guinea pig in this particular exercise of learning new skills as we constantly reinvent ourselves. So, Deepika, I really want our audience to know who you are and what you do, why you do. And instead of my trying to put words into your mouth, I leave it to you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, Menon, again for having me on this platform. It feels, privileged as well as feels nice to get back to the HR world or to be able to talk to the, people associated with HR. Not so many years back, I used to be in the HR profession.
Yeah.
I was consulting and I started my career with ADP, did my MBA from SEMHRD and started my career with ADP and went on to work with ITC and Wipro. And then for so many years, I was as a consultant working in the behavioral assessment space and performance coaching space. And today I'm back again on this platform because really like to share with people how I moved into this world of clinical nutrition and
Right.
how it has helped me and how it is today helping many people across the world, with good health. So at 39, I was I had gained weight during my pregnancy and never could lose it. I would lose and to gain it back. So it was not sustainable. And at 39, the career was going very well. I was traveling the world, got to the heights that I really wanted to, working at the board levels and with a lot of leadership, teams. But what wasn't working well for me was the health. So
Yeah.
not only was the weight that I gained over the years there, it also was, it's now added with a lot of family genes that were showing up, whether it is my mom's side of diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol kind of issues, and on my father's side of, the eczema, the heart ailments, the palpitations, the arthritis, all of it showing up in bits and pieces and spurts. That's when I realized that I've got to take charge of my life, because the doctors did give you a chance, said that you've got to lose weight and you've got to make it sustainable, make that healthy lifestyle choices. Didn't know what to do, but in front of me was my dad and mom who had reversed their health conditions and were very healthy. So I said, let's try this now. Let me get into this world of nutrition and understand for myself, because by then I had tried, the I would say the offerings that that Hyderabad had and India had in terms of going to nutritionists, going to slimming centers. So I tried it all, tried my own fat diets, nothing worked. So I said, now it's a time to get to health, because that is one area I had not been able to figure it out. I had figured out every other dimension of my life except health. So that's how I got into the world of nutrition. I was a good student. I studied a lot and took help from my dad. I still take help from my dad. He is the domain expertise. But what is significantly different between what a lot of people do and what I do, and why I'd like to bring this out in this forum, is that the mind plays a huge role in making our health sustainable. And that is what I realized was the big limiting factor, the
Hey,
difference that my dad and mom had versus me. So,
let me interrupt you, Deepika. We have about 8 people watching the show.
wow.
Welcome everybody to this event was scheduled about half an hour back due to some technical glitches. I started a little late. Thank you for coming by. Uh, this is the 11th of the series of Sutras for the Future of Work, and today I have Deepika Chalasani, who is a HR professional turned clinical nutritionist, who is kind of giving us a very inspirational story about how she transitioned herself. I think you should let people know, Deepika, that the before and after kind of a situation. Because before, no, what was your weight when you started uh, taking this new course, and then where are you now? And I remember reading somewhere that you're probably only one person in the world. Okay, so if you can just tell that, then the context is right. Okay.
Okay, I'm privileged again to share this part of it, this part of my journey. I weighed 93 kilos from the age of 31 to 39. I would lose weight to gain it back. So it's not like I haven't lost weight. I would lose about 8-10 kilos. As I said, I went to slimming centers. I'd lose the weight, but then I would I would bounce back. So I did a lot of those things. So I was oscillating between 83 and 93 for a good 9 years. And today, I'm right now at the 65, 60
Wow.
kilos.
Okay.
At 48, I'm 47 next month, I will be 48. The weight loss journey, one, is truly been special for me for two reasons. One, at 40, you start gaining weight, even if women who did not have weight challenges start gaining weight because a lot of the, hormonal challenges show up. And for me, this is the time I've been my healthiest best. The second part that I really enjoy is that I've truly enjoyed this journey of weight loss. It's never been stressful, and that's why I've been able to sustain it for the last 9 years. And I'm looking to get healthier every day. And challenge myself and be the best version of myself every year. Like a couple of years back, I started running, and today I can do a 10 kilometers without a problem, which is something that I never did even as a child, and even as a 27-year-old having the same weight, I could never do that. Today I do that. So yes, it's been truly special because I have worked on my mind first. Okay. And I
Okay.
realized that and that's how a lot of the courses around the mind happened, because 50% is what you eat, so the 50% of health comes from the nutrition and the food that you eat, but the rest of the 50% comes from how you are as an eater. What are your limiting beliefs around food? What are your limiting beliefs on nutrition, on health, on sustainability, on fighting, yourself with yourself and what the body is saying. So my work for myself has been listening to my body, okay, and never giving up on what the body is saying. So looking at what is my body telling me and how do I then go the next step.
But come on,
So
we also have all these desires to, bring down our weight and stuff like that. And I keep telling my body every time, but that doesn't convert. I mean, I don't lose 25 kilos just like that. So you need to tell us what exactly, happened between the time you were 93 and now you're 65. Yes, I also realized that you have gone on to become India's first certified coach. Okay, so obviously there is some science to it, and it's not just some magic kind of a thing. So if you can just let us know about that, then we have about 9 viewers right now. I'm sure no, they'll also learn from this, because there's something which we all want to change, but
yeah.
very few actually get around to doing it. So
Yeah. So, weight loss is a very, very tricky area, as I said, and it is has a very high, unsuccessful rate, if I can say so. So, the success rate of people losing weight and being able to sustain it. So, if you ask so many people, I've lost 25 kilos, I've lost 30 kilos, but are they able to sustain it over the 5 years, okay, or beyond? That's where the challenges come. Okay. And the reason why people cannot sustain the weight loss that has happened is because you're doing something unsustainable. So you're doing crash diets, you're letting go for your hunger, you're having using willpower, and men are great with willpower compared to women when it comes to food. And therefore it's never sustainable. So how you work on yourself is about working on all your limiting beliefs. One, like I use neuro linguistic programming a lot to work on my favorite foods and how I can eat it very consciously. For example, and there was a time that when I saw a chocolate cake, I could never stop eating even though I was full. Today I can eat a chocolate cake when I want to, and I don't eat when I don't want to. Okay. I'm a foodie, and you hear anybody around me when they talk about food, how my face lights up. Okay. I continue to be a foodie. At the same time, I balance it with health. The way to do it is, yes, and I'm from the Institute of Eating Psychology. Also, I have certified myself in mind body eating as well as eating psychology. I'm an Enneagram practitioner, so I work on a lot of belief systems. So Enneagrams is all about understanding your personality at the value and beliefs level, and why you operate the way you operate. For example, if I am a 6, I have a primary wing of a 6 of an Enneagram, and I'm a 2 as a personality type. There's a lot of validation I need to what I do, and I always have a lot of doubts about what I do. Okay, so that's my
Hey,
personality.
I must
Okay.
stop. I must stop you, Deepika, here, because what you're trying is kind of going over my head. Because you're both a qualified HR person as well as a qualified NLP kind of person. In fact, I'm just as I talk to you, I realize there are about 14 or 15 viewers, and one of them is a person who knows you, who
Mhm.
is Venka Reddy. He's heading
Mhm.
Infosys in Hyderabad, and
Yes. Hi,
he has a
Venkat.
comment. He'll have
Huh.
a comment saying, "Good to attend Deepika session." Venka, thanks for hopping by. So if you have any, we're just getting into this conversation with Deepika, and so if you have any questions, please feel free to add on. I'm just trying to finish off the inspiring introduction of Deepika. Yeah, Deepika, we'll quickly jump into the topic of the day, okay, and which is to do with future of work as well as how food impact can have employee productivity at work. So I was just wondering, because we are in the past 9, 10, 12 months, almost unprecedented times. So post COVID, now work from home and long hours have become a norm. So what can employees do to be active and energetic?
Okay, so the first things we must know is that food, that whatever we eat should be energizing us. Okay, if it is not energizing us, that means there's something not right about the food we eat. Okay,
Okay.
when I say energizing us, it's about making it consistent energy. It's not about these spurts. Like I eat something, I get this huge rush of energy, and then there's a dip. Okay, and then I'm looking for another rush of energy. So I'm not talking about that kind of energy. I'm talking about consistent energy through the day. Okay, so you should be looking to have foods that support that. Second is we must know that Indians have our own unique physiological differences. There are many of them. That's another topic by itself.
I
At
can
some time
imagine.
we will talk about it. But one of the key differences is that the carbs we eat turn into fat. Okay, it's one of the few nationalities in the world that happens for us. Okay,
Okay.
so and most of us eat carbs from the morning to the evening, and it's not that carbs are a bad word. It's just that we should be eating carbs that support us. One of the what we call is a little jargon. It's called cell wall intact carbs. When you say cell
Okay.
wall intact, is as least processed carbs as possible from the morning to the evening, is a great way to live life. Like for example, a brown rice is a cell wall intact carb, because all you're doing is to make sure that the whole the food grain is intact by itself, versus a white rice where you stripped off all the nutrients and there's a lot of, it's just starch and sugars going into your body. Okay, so you make those shifts, that will give you more consistent energy. Okay. uh,
So Can you
Yeah.
be more specific about what foods will improve these energy and active? I mean, for an active day,
As I said, look at whole foods. Okay,
right?
whole food mean as less, processed, as less, I would say, fermented, processed, or worked on. Like for example, if you're looking at grains, look at whole. Like millets itself is a whole grain. Okay, brown rice is a whole grain. Quinoa is a whole grain. Okay, the moment it is powdered, it is fermented, it is processed, where a lot of the work has happened outside of your digestive system. Okay, and you give it, and when you eat, in about an hour and a half, it's digested. Okay, that's a total no no. Okay, if you are looking to get energy through the day, because energy, you will get energy when your body is in a fat burning zone. Okay, and for your body to be in a fat burning zone, it is about using your own body fat. Okay, and that you can easily do when you look at whole foods, where I said, like if I'm talking about grains, it is, these are better grains to use. Okay, any grain where it is least processed. Okay, like for example, if you have atta now. Okay, a jawari roti. Okay, jawari roti has that much more fiber than a regular roti. Okay, so that's a better version versus the uh, the atta, which is the atta rotis, because, or the breads, for example, breads is again very refined, carbohydrates. A cookie is a refined carbohydrate. Okay, uh, cornflakes and cereal is. Okay, a dosa is, an idli is. Okay, now if you are having these foods and if it works for your body and you are feeling energetic through the day, it's great. Okay, but if you are not having consistent energy and your body is not in that state of metabolic flexibility, of moving from the carb energy to the fat energy, where your body is using your body fat, that means there is something not right. Okay,
Wow.
specific foods is this: vegetables as close to nature as possible. Like, most of us say that we eat a lot of curries, but the curries are totally cooked and, overcooked actually. Okay, that it's very tasty, but it is not healthy. Okay, you can use it for taste, but you can't look at it as health. Okay, that is there. You look at nuts and seeds, again, a lot of it is powdered, in a powdered form. Look at as whole from nature. Okay, as
Sure.
that these are simple formulas: as close to nature, as whole from nature, as local as it can get. Okay, that's the mantra for all, for having consistent energy through the day, or having a metabolic flexibility in your body.
Metabolic flexibility. That's a very good word that you said. Okay, fine. Let me remember that. But I'm actually, my experience is that uh, if you're trying to reduce weight, we are told to avoid tasty food. Okay, are you trying to say that all these millets and they sound so unglamorous actually? So, do you think that certain people's body accepts that and certain people's body doesn't accept it? That's what you're trying to tell us?
I would say, more than accepting, it is a habit. Okay,
Okay,
habit formation happens at the womb. Okay, for example, you would have learned, or you would have got acquired to a certain taste. Okay, at when you are in your mom's womb. Okay, and carbohydrate addiction is one of the biggest addictions that one has in this world. Okay, carbohydrate, it's, if you see like a bread or a cookie, okay, or idli or a dosa or a cereal, has a natural sweetness. Okay, like if you look at a white rice, for example, versus a brown rice, why don't
correct.
people eat brown rice? Okay, because white rice is tasty for you, because that's a familiar food
Cultivated taste kind of a thing.
and cultivated at the womb.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
so our mind registers familiar foods. Okay, as the healthy food, or as the tasty foods. Okay, so if it is working for you and you have no health problems, your BMI is correct, your body parameters are correct, okay, then great, go ahead. But if you are in the self-denial mode, oh, I'm eating everything right, okay, and but why are things not happening for me the way it should? That means then your body has been telling you this, through your internal health and through weight externally, that what you're doing is not right. Okay. The first thing is to change our mindset to say that, hey, there is an information that's coming to us. Okay, it may not it may not suit my taste buds because I'm used to a familiarity that has happened at the womb. Okay, so I'm going to make the transition.
Fine.
Okay, the transition can be having half white rice or 75% white rice and 25% brown rice to start with, and you can slowly get out because sugars and salts are acquired tastes. The more you've had, the more your body needs because it's all registered in the brain. So you've got to go slow if you want to, but yes, move in the direction that supports the body, not the mind.
Fair enough. So you mentioned something about metabolic flexibility. If you can
Hmm.
kind of elaborate on that, so that how do we apply it in our life, kind of a thing.
Okay, so metabolic flexibility, the concept is about how your body. So when you eat food, there's an energy that comes from food, right? Okay, so the energy that comes from food is there for about 2 hours because that's a digestive process. Okay, post the 2 hours, your body should be able to take on the fat that is available in the body because fat inherently or traditionally has come because the body was supposed to handle situations or unforeseen situations where food was not available, right? And fat was meant to be used when food is not available, right? So the transition between the food that you're eating, which is digested, and the fat that is used, okay, uh, is what is called metabolic flexibility.
Fine, sure.
Okay. So many times when you eat foods, okay, what happens is, and if it's going too over the top, we'll talk it next time. I'm just trying to explain this concept, and if you feel
Fair enough.
it's too much, we'll look at it later. But because many times what happens is we eat foods to give us energy for the 2 hours. Post the 2 hours, the body is not transitioning to the body fat, okay, as an energy
Sure.
source. Okay, because there is a L cell area and K cell area where food is getting digested and absorbed, and therefore, when it is not absorbed in the right place, okay, that's when the body cannot use the fat that's available. Okay.
Fantastic. So now, suppose there's one question which I've always wanted to ask you. Now we
Hmm.
know what to eat, and we have to make the desire to make the right choices,
Hmm.
but we don't because of our long hours and all that. So, what suggest? How do we apply it in our daily lives? Suppose I do understand that you've gone through this and you have a step-by-step process to help
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
clients reduce their weight and have a
Yes.
healthy life. So, what are the what is the advice that you give normally?
So the first advice is just always plan.
Hmm.
Okay. Many times we decide today what the next meal is. Okay, and what happens is our work pressures take over. Okay, and when we have not prepared for the meal, then automatically there's no food, and then I am looking to eat whatever is there as a snack.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
That's
so my suggestion always is, and a very strong recommendation is always plan. Okay,
okay.
use the weekend to plan for what you're going to eat in the next week.
Wow.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, get your groceries, get your proteins, get your vegetables. And today, thanks to COVID, you get everything at your doorstep.
True.
Okay, you don't have to, like earlier, while these options were available, we would, I mean, in our minds would tell us to go pick it up from a store, grocery store next door, and stuff like that. Today, whether it is protein, groceries, or whatever food you needed, today it's all at the click of a button. So prepare for the week. Like I have 18-hour work days starting at 5 and
Wow.
ending at 7 to 12 in the night because I work with clients across the globe and from an Australia to a US, so you can see the time zones that we work. And I have three different professions right now going on. Okay, so how I plan my days, definitely for the week on a Saturday, Sunday, I ask my help. Okay, what are the foods that are there? What do we need? Okay, spend some time in the kitchen teaching her that this is the right way to cook foods. That's the time I spend on a weekend on a Sunday. Okay, and the previous day I tell
Fantastic.
her
Hello, I
that this
lost
is
you. Oh, yeah,
my
go ahead.
schedule.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I said on the previous day, I tell her for the next day that this is my schedule. Okay. So I have, like, for example, I leave home. I don't have the privilege of working from home anymore. I have to go to work for different assignments. So I have my meals with me from breakfast to 7 o'clock in the day.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
everything
So
is packed.
even though you're mobile, you're carrying the food for your
Yeah.
various. So I mean, you keep talking about some of us have this habit of eating three times a day or something like that. Is it a myth that you can eat only three times, or your body is kind of adjust to all kinds of different habits that we take up?
So I would say that it's not about, see, intermittent fasting really works for Indians as long as you know how to do it right. Okay. And therefore, you should be allowing your body to be able to take care of, your this one. I would say letting the body use the body fat. That's what I've been talking about, right? So if you keep giving constantly energy from outside and food from outside, when will that opportunity come for the body to use the body fat?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's important that you eat. You eat, but between 3 to 4 or to 5 meals is a choice, and listen to your body. Okay. Like I have two large meals and one snack. Okay. To two snacks in a day. Okay. That's my system. Okay. But I know people who have 4 meals. I know people who have 2 meals. I know people who have 5 meals.
Sure.
Okay. And it has worked for everybody.
Amazing. And just let me interrupt you here. So we still have about, I didn't realize we've been talking to almost 25 minutes now. So we'll probably continue talking for another 10 minutes, Deepika. And we have about 10 viewers who are online right now. So, hi, everybody. This is Achyut Menon. I am having a conversation with Deepika Chalasani, who is a HR professional come clinical nutritionist, and she's talking to us about the food impact and how it help us employ it in work and all that. So should you have any queries, please put it in your comments, and I'm sure I'll have Deepika address them down the line. So Deepika, back to one more doubt which I've been wanting to ask you. um, yeah, these, even though we are working from home and stuff like that, there's a certain number, there's no while there's a start time, there's no end time. Okay, because we are at home, we probably end up working long hours, so there is a certain tiredness and lack of sleep, and so it kind of shows in different, even our desire. So we
Hmm.
really are not as consistent as we should be, even though it's been 11 months now. So what is your advice for this?
One is make sure that you are not eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you sleep. Like, for example, if I'm sleeping at 10, your last meal should be at 7. Okay.
Okay.
Sunrise to sunset is the best time the body digests food.
Okay.
So that's the time for the body to take on as much of food as possible. If
Hmm.
you're working late hours, then 90% of your food should be between sunrise and sunset, and keep one bedtime snack, which is not heavy. Okay.
Hmm.
Because what happens is if you're going to eat a late night snack because you have through the day not taken care of your food, what's going to happen is instead of the time that the body needs for repairing, rejuvenating, and resting, it's going to be digesting food. So next day, what happens is you wake up tired because it is not the body has not got that time to do what it's supposed to do at that hour. Okay, so you're going to wake up tired. So very likely that you can't go on for a full blown exercise. But no matter what, even if you go for a stroll, even if you go for less optimal exercise, do it, because that's one way the body gets more oxygen and therefore
Oh.
becomes more active through the day. Okay, there's a blood circulation that happens, there's an energy that happens. It's not necessary that we have to do our optimal best in exercise every day. Okay, there will be days like today. My day started at 5 in the morning and I couldn't go for an exercise as much, so I did more lifestyle movements. I went for a stroll because I had a late night yesterday. But at least do it. Don't let go of it and make a routine. Just like you have a daily chore, like you brush your teeth, you have a bath, build in a certain time for exercise. And that's
Wow.
what is going to bring in a certain routine to your life. And that exercise time, you may try to push yourself if you like, or you try to go easy on yourself, whatever be it, but don't compromise on that. Because the next day, like for example, if I wake up tired and I start my day with having a tea to really give me the rush of energy, and cookies because I feel tired, the whole day I'm going to be snacking and nibbling, and the whole day I'm going to be tired. I'm going to look for sparks of energy, and then it dips, and again I'm going to look for spurts of energy.
Very interesting you say this, Deepika. In fact, as we talk, we have more viewers, and there are a couple of people, Nilesh
Mm.
Dhamanekar and
Mm.
Kalpesh Thakur, who have
Mm.
asked some queries. I'm just showing it on the
Yeah.
screen. So,
Yes.
Nilesh asks how to deal with inconsistencies in maintaining discipline for workout or diet due to various reasons because of travel, things in life taking priority. What what advice would you give to Nilesh?
Okay, Nilesh, there are, I mean, two culturally, there are two dimensions today I'd like to bring forth over here because you're saying this. Okay. Many times we are not consistent with our food or our exercise regimen. Okay. Because we don't like to say a no to people around us. Okay. When it comes to food. Like, for example, I have many clients who say that, somebody offered me, how can I say no? Okay. In a party it becomes very odd when somebody is asking me to eat. Okay, and business meetings happen like this. Okay,
True.
how can I say no to people? How can I refuse? It's a business meeting, after all it's a client. Okay, I just say this, I just say two things here. One, every decision of our lives, okay, whether it's our the career we choice we take, the business decisions we take, the decision, the home front we take, we don't look at taking it to please somebody else. We take it because we want to do something. Okay, but when it comes to food, we like to please somebody else. Okay. That's one thing. Okay. And it's okay to be saying that, listen, I've eaten, I don't want any more. It's okay, okay, to not, feel shy about, saying this. Okay. Second is, your body is not a garbage bin, that whatever comes your way, you will have. Okay. It is, if you treat it like a garbage bin, okay, of whatever comes your way, automatically your body is going to give up sometime or later, depending on the gene quality of genes that you have. Okay, and therefore, when you are looking to, I would say, travel, do the best possible thing you can. Like for example, make the best possible choice that you have within the options in a buffet breakfast. Okay, at a lunch, make the best possible choice rather than say it's okay, I'm traveling. Okay, for every 10 reasons I want to give myself that I don't want to do something or I can't do, there will always be that three things why I want to do something for myself. Because your body is the only place you live in, so you rather support it than ignore it.
Sure. Hey, thanks. I hope Nilesh, you've got the response which Deepika has given. There's one more question that Kalpesh Thakur has given. So if you can just read it out and address it,
Yeah.
will be wonderful.
Okay. See, Kalpesh, exercise, food and exercise are two, complementing elements for good health, because food is the fuel you give to your body. It's like, petrol that you give to a car, and exercise is like using the car. Now, for example, you've not used the car in so many years, the battery goes down, you need to give it servicing, and so bodies need to move. Okay, and therefore it's an important part of good health. However, uh, it depends from body type to body type how much exercise and how much food. It depends on the age that you are in, how much exercise and how much food. For example, if you are a youngster by up to probably 30 years, most of the time, unless you really have bad genes where your diabetic levels show up at 20, which today is happening, okay, you
Oh,
should be looking to do 50% exercise, 50% nutrition. Okay, because your body has to be, moved and used well. Okay, but don't overdo exercise, because that's something lot of people do, is to, neglect the food you're having but overdoing exercise. Okay, that's why you see a lot of sports people having a lot of health issues, because not that they don't eat well, but the exercise that they overdo, they should be able to balance the nutrition that supports the exercise. Okay, so to answer your question, your body, each body is different, and there is a certain proportion of exercise and food that we should be looking to have. If you're insulin resistant body type, which is like, you're prone to diabetes or blood pressure, cholesterol, uric acid, all of the PCOD and all of them, they come under the insulin resistance. There is about 70% that goes from nutrition and 30% from exercise, and for the rest of it, it's 50 and 50. Rest means the normal insulin generating body types.
Okay, thank you. So, thanks. I hope Nilesh and Kalpesh, you have got the necessary insights from Deepika. Deepika, if you could also, in the initial introduction, I introduced you as the coach, the first India's coach for body mind. If you could just go about telling us what you do professionally, so that the viewers, if they could contact you, what kind of issues do you help with, and how can they find you? I realize that we have already spoken 35 minutes, so probably in the next 4-5 minutes you could address this. And in the meanwhile, if anybody has questions, please feel free to put them, and I'll have Deepika address them. Yeah, go ahead, Deepika.
Okay, so the important part of helping people lose weight or be healthy, because I work in most of my time today goes in helping clients with clinical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one of the biggest reasons or why it has come to such a condition is this whole self-denial mode that clients are or people are. Even I was in that mode that, I ate all of this since childhood, so why is this giving me a problem? Okay, it didn't give me a problem till so many years, so why? Okay, why can't I eat these foods? Important dimension here that we must understand is that bodies have its own I would say scope of having health issues or not having health issues. There's a long rope, and a body gives up sometime or the other. Okay, so to get into an acceptance mode, there needs to be a coaching process of it, so that the mind and the body is attuned to the same desire. Okay, today the body is screaming out, telling me that it is having health issues because of something I'm not doing right. Okay, and it's nothing called good or bad foods, great diet, not great diets, nothing of that sort. If the body is communicating to me through my blood reports that there is something not right, then one looks at what you're doing in the last some years, and obviously that has caused it. It could be a protein carb fat ratio. It could be the fasting versus feasting. It could be a metabolic flexibility. So it can be various things. But to understand and get into a zone where my body and mind is in sync with with sync with the same outcome, okay, needs a certain level of coaching, and that's what I'm good at. I use a lot of neuro-linguistic programming and belief systems and all of it, and the mind-body eating piece to help clients understand that this is where we have to go, okay, and this is the journey, and also make it easy for the client to embrace this new journey, because it's not easy. Like, while I know I have to take this client to step 10, I can't make that client jump to step 10. Okay, or the person. So I take one step at a time that is most useful for the client at that point, seeing the lifestyle that he's leading, food that he's having, and the blood reports that is showing up. Okay, and therefore the journey becomes that much more easy and sustainable, because, as I said, mind, is only used to familiar stuff, and it's about how do you bring in a certain what do you say is I would say a certain level of communion between the mind and the body to give you an outcome that you desire.
Fantastic. So, if you could tell us something about your professional background, and where can people find you online? If you could, how if somebody wants to reach out to you, that would be a.
Yes, you can reach me at deepikachalasani.com. That's a website that that I have. Fit for Life India is another website. So these are two websites that are there. It will give you a great insight into what we do. Client reviews give you a great insight to what we do. That's how you reach us. And as I said, it's about the journey and making it sustainable, easy, comfortable, and happy at the end of it. I should be able to eat my favorite foods and be able to do whatever, and then lose weight. If I don't eat my favorite foods and I keep it off for 6 months, or if I don't, like, for example, I know many clients, the first thing they fear telling me is that, I have alcohol. And I said that you should not be fearing it, but you should know how to responsibly use it and have it to help
Wow.
you in your outcomes, right? So then there's a way to do it. And I said, even I party, I'm a foodie, I have my desserts. I have a lot of dessert dates with my clients. I think they love me for this because I go out eating with them and teach them how to have the dessert with mindfulness. And so, as a person who parties, I do have some moderate alcohol as well. Okay, so I know how to balance it. And there's a great way to, you do 80% right, and 20% the body will always support you. So that's the tip and trick of the healthy active lifestyle. Make it consistent, make the journey enjoyable, listen to your body, and sync the mind and the body in the same way so that you get the right outcome.
Thank you, Deepika. I mean, that's a very on a sound notice, because I was wondering, because one normally gets sermons on what to do, eat less, uh, avoid what kind of things you love. Now you seem to be giving us the license to do everything that we want, but in moderation and this. So it's really on that note. I think I just realized it's for almost 40 minutes that we've been speaking. So thank you for coming and sharing your insights, Deepika, and look forward to your impacting more lives in future. It's splendid.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming by. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everybody.
Menon.
For
Yeah,
thank you,
thank you,
everybody.
Menon, again.
We'll till the next time. We'll sign up. Okay. Sign off for now. Bye. Once
Bye.
again.
Thank you so much.